Hey guys, what's going on? John here with Jack for another episode of Talking Ball, and today we'll be looking at the Philadelphia 76ers 2017 NBA Draft Outlook. And we'll start with the fact that the Sixers, obviously, the process is just about over, you would hope, and hopefully they will start turning from a team that is tanking to a team that is winning, or at least looking to do more winning. And even though they didn't land a top 2 pick, they did land number 3 overall. And they're still in a good position to get a really solid player at number 3 overall. And Jack, who do you think who do you think will be the pick, but also who do you think should be the pick?
Right, and before I get to the pick, I just want to go back to your point in the beginning here, which was that turning the corner on the process, right? So they brought in the Colangelos, who immediately signed 2 veteran players in Jared Bayless and Gerald Henderson to bring some more leadership to that locker room and just a vet presence, because the whole thing with the process was we're only going to throw young kids out there and just let them grow, and not much growing happened, right? They lost just a ridiculous amount of games, and every year it seemed they would draft a top 5 pick. That guy would then have to redshirt the season, and that theme continued this year with Ben Simmons missing his entire rookie season. So with that being said, obviously the glut of centers that the Sixers have, they got rid of Nerlens Noel, but they still have obviously Joel Embiid, Jahlil Okafor, and arguably Richaun Holmes was their most consistent presence at the position due to Embiid's injury issues and Okafor's inefficiencies. And so obviously not looking at a big guy there. They need guard help, right? TJ McConnell, love the guy, great worker, just a very smart player, but I don't know if he's your point guard, your starting point guard of the future. With that being said, you're looking at a draft which likely has the top 2 point guards and top 2 players drafted right before they pick at 3. So there's a ton of options for the Sixers here. Josh Jackson has been the name I've seen most picked there at 3 for the Sixers. The reason being, he can do a bit of everything. He's a passer. He's got good vision. He can score. He's one of the best athletes in this class, and he defends. And so there's a lot of things that make sense about that pick for the Sixers. Also, you've seen some talk about Jason Tatum with his knack of one-on-one scoring at that spot at 3. And then the 2 Kentucky guards I've heard a lot about as well, both De'Aaron Fox and Malik Monk potentially. Fox would bring in that dynamite speed, his playmaking ability, and Malik Monk obviously with his shot making and his 3-point shooting and just ability to score in bunches. Lots of players would help the Sixers, let's be honest, right? This team needs help. They got lots of options, and I'm curious as much as anybody who they see as the best fit. And I'm not confident that those 4 are the only 4 that they're going to be looking at. I truly think the draft starts at 3 with the Sixers, and wild cards will be in play.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. And like you said, they have a lot of options, and the good thing is that there are no elite big men this year really to catch their eye and for them to take. So they're kind of free of just kind of overloading themselves again with another center or something. So I do like that. I think the best pick for them would be to either go get Josh Jackson and add, I guess he would have to play maybe oversized 2 guard, since you're going to probably put Ben Simmons at the 3. But I think he's kind of, you want input on that, Jack?
Yeah, so, they got Robert Covington still.
Yeah, true.
And so Covington and Ben Simmons and Dario Saric will play a lot of 3-4. But I agree, those guys are, all 3 of those guys are at least 6'9", 230 pounds or so.
Yeah.
And so, absolutely, the thing with Josh Jackson, the concern there is exactly how you phrased it. He may have to play some 2 guard, and there are concerns about his jump shot, right, his ability to connect from 3-point range.
Right, exactly. So that's one thing I worry about a little bit, but his ability to, be an athletic guy, to give you some, just some fire, in the lineup, I think that's important. Also, I think De'Aaron Fox would be an interesting player for them to go and get. His speed, obviously, and his ability to score closer to the bucket, I think, would be important for them. To be a secondary ball handler after Ben Simmons, I think they would definitely. Both of those guys would help them. I wouldn't even be upset if they took someone like Jason Tatum, your guy from Duke, and just give them another scoring option. They really don't have a lot of wing scoring options as is, and I think Tatum would right away give them a premier option there on the wing.
Absolutely. The only concern I have with Tatum going to this Sixers team is that I think he is going to be best in a situation where maybe he's not the number one scorer, but he's a high option. And as you said, they don't have many scoring options there. But they do have two guys in Joel Embiid when he's healthy and Ben Simmons when he's healthy, who do command the ball a lot. And so that would leave Tatum playing off ball a ton of time, which I think he's more than capable of doing. It just may not be the best role for him. But having said that, with the injury concerns with Embiid, you don't know what you're going to necessarily get from Ben Simmons. He hasn't played yet. You can't. It's tough to confirm or deny anything about the player, and so I don't think they should rather necessarily go into the draft banking on those two guys and having that as a reason to not select somebody.
All right, so moving on here to the second round, where the Sixers hold a ridiculous 4 second-round picks, Jack. Who are just some of the guys who you could see them targeting who could make the roster right away and give them, a boost off the bench?
Absolutely. One guy in particular, we mentioned a Duke player earlier, is Frank Jackson. I think there's a chance he's available in the second round for the Sixers. And if he does sneak into the early second round, their first second-round pick is at 36. I think he could be available there. And if he's not, I wouldn't be surprised to see them package some picks and go up and get him early in the second round, maybe even late first. Just because he's so dynamic, he's going to be able to score off his athleticism alone. And if he's going to also be able to play off ball at times, which is going to be huge for them, or especially with guys like Ben Simmons and guys like Joel Embiid. As I said earlier, maybe they take looks at some of these other wing prospects because they do have a need, on the wing. So, maybe guys like Blossom Game, who's a vet. One guy I really like is Wesley Iwundu from Kansas State. I think he's got the potential to emerge as a real 3-and-D player. And they've been targeting these guys towards the later end of rounds. The past couple years, they just haven't had a guy hit yet. And I think they're going to just keep – I think the thing for many teams is keep trying with this player. It's kind of like the NFL – thing where they always draft a running back later on in the draft just to try to get one. And it's the same theory here.
Exactly.
And I think the Sixers will continue in that vein in this draft class. And last but not least, another guard I really like, point guard prospect, is Monta Morris, who I think he's just such a smart, heady player. He fits that mold of a T.J. McConnell. And so therefore I think he's a guy they may take a look at as well.
All right, guys, you hear from us. The NBA draft will start with the Sixers at 3 after the Celtics likely go and take Fultz and the Lakers grab Lonzo Ball. See what the Celtics do. We think they could go Josh Jackson, De'Aaron Fox, maybe even Jason Tatum. Guys, let us know what you think, if you agree, if you disagree. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for listening, guys. We're out.